Hey guys, welcome back and happy Friday. It's premiere time, baby. If you missed the last one on this, we're covering more on Dan's Pokestop, the official middleman service for PSA, as they like to tell everyone at any point. I've said it many times, PSA shouldn't have middlemen. Creates issues like the ones we've seen caused by Ludkin's and Mark's cards. And no offense, Dan, but you are a tiny wiener baby compared to them. And they still messed up. Nothing against you in the beginning, but now there is something against you. We're going to be taking a look at more of that tonight. You would think they would learn, PSA would learn, instead of hiring a wiener baby known as Dan's Pokestop to clean up the mess. My original video was criticizing PSA, not the idiot and that we've come to know as Dan. Dan, though, has since tried his absolute best to prove me correct. Dan's Pokestop did so by leaking a ton of their customers' personal information. They were advised and, partially fixed the issue. Problem is, they never disclosed any of that to their customers and are very much obligated to. They are supposed to not only advise the people affected, but also the ICO who regulates this stuff, all within 72 hours. Spoiler, it was much longer than that. Remember, they are busy, guys and gals. Surely, if they can't even get your January orders out until late March, Dan doesn't have time to fight with me in the comments section or dick around with YouTube, whatnot, etc. Surely he's going to put priority on your grading submissions. For someone that talks so much about them protecting you and additional risk by submitting through others, it's pretty ironic that they didn't protect even your personal information, let alone your cards. We got full names, phone numbers, addresses, emails, etc. all leaked. They love to advertise the fact that they are the only PSA approved UK dealer. Seems they weren't and were called out for it, so apparently reworded at some point to something involving also having a physical shop. They got to be one of a kind. They're definitely one of a kind here, just done all the wrong ways. As we saw last time, the breach was all originally reported to them on March 20th. A resolution was met the same day, on the 20th of March. Other than the fact that the full names are still accessible. What's that? Yeah, they are still accessible at the time of recording, April 6th, the day before this goes live. They'll probably still be up, still available at that point in time. So did they do anything about that? Are they going to do anything about that? My guess is probably not. Dan would like to make you think otherwise, but the 20th of March is when the ICO clock started ticking. He wants to claim that he personally wasn't made aware of the issue until the 30th, which would be super duper convenient if that's even how it worked. I don't believe for a second that the email advising customers about it, that's the one on screen here, what they should have sent on the 20th or shortly after, just happened to come out only a few hours after my video about it. I think it's much more likely that Dan knew about it since the 20th. And that they were hoping nothing needed to be reported. They didn't need to tell customers this stuff. No one would find out about it. That maybe the person who advised them about it would just keep quiet if they made the changes necessary. At the very least, you have someone with full access, a Dan's Pokestop employee, if you want to call them that, who also has the ability to look at and change everything from the back end, who also doesn't know the rules and regulations around any of this stuff. I'd just like to know, Ant, the person that made the changes, the person that was advised, the person that spoke with, the person that told you what was wrong with your site. I want to know, since you wouldn't answer my my DM, are you taking the fall for Dan here? You're going to potentially get yourself in legal trouble just to cover for him. Or did you actually not say anything to Dan? I find it almost impossible to believe that something like this wasn't important enough to tell him about it. Let's read through the email here. Potential personal data breach. Dear customer, I am writing you to you today to regretfully inform you that your personal information may have been involved in a potential personal data breach on our website. Does anyone think that would it take about 3 hours to compose this bad boy after watching my video? That's my guess. It's only a guess though, guys. Only a guess. This breach, to our knowledge, was during a very short time window where we were developing our new order tracker system. The potential breach occurred by the ability to access the following information when inspecting the page element on our order tracker when viewing the network response. Name, address with only one D. So I don't, Dan, are we going to blame this on the fact that you're illiterate, or are we going to blame this on the fact that you were scrambling to write this after my video came out? Which one is it? You tell me. Phone number, email. This was brought to my attention at 7:01 a.m. on Thursday, the 30th of March, 2023. Again, super convenient that just kind of lines up and that the email needed to come out within that time frame, and it did, but it only came out after my video. I don't know, guys. I don't like to wear tinfoil here. I don't think you need to in order to think that this is definitely a possibility. I would firstly like to let you know that we are registered and regulated by the ICO. That's very nice of you to let us know that. Information's Commissioner's Office, who oversee and regulate the management of data handling and breaches. As of the time of writing this email, a report on this breach has been conducted, completed, and submitted to them for review. We intend to give them full cooperation on this issue and work with them to ensure any potential further breaches do not occur. You still haven't fixed the entire issue, the original issue. Maybe he doesn't know that. Maybe they just don't have a way to do it, and they're just like hoping that they don't have to. I would like to reassure you that this potential breach has already been closed by removing the fields mentioned above completely from our database and moved all personal information to closed network systems. No, you listed 4 things here. Name, address with 1D, phone number, and email. Names are still there. So you 75% resolve the issue. Really? The next step we strongly advise as a precautionary measure is to log onto your online account on our website, danspokestop.co.uk, and perform a password reset, ensuring you use a strong password containing capital letters, numbers, and special characters to safeguard your account after this potential breach. So I don't think they quite understand. It's not like your accounts were getting hacked. It's just all the information from the account. Your personal information was visible to anyone that knew how to access it. It wasn't there's no hacking going on here, guys. This is not, we're not in the Matrix. We don't have the keyboard out in front of us mashing it all over the place with a green and black screen. Also, can someone please, for the love of God, get me make me a George Bush 9/11 where he's getting he's at the school and he's getting advised. But can you have it as Dan getting advised about the breach, and then just have the date on it somewhere, where it's the 30th and definitely not the 20th. I would like to personally apologize. Oh, I guess we should be giving him the French cowboy voice, right? We'll switch over right now. I would like to personally apologize should the potential breach have affected you personally. We take the management of all our clients' data as a matter of high priority, and we will be taking further steps to better train our staff in the correct handling of customer data, whether this be via online communications or other. I would like to also thank you for your understanding that we have tried to work on this to the best of our ability within the given time frame of the ICO to ensure that this has been handled as a matter of priority once I was made aware. Should you need to contact us any further as a result of this, please feel free to reply to me, and I will endeavor to respond as soon as possible within working hours. Also important to note that I did advise PSA on the matter, so they had the information. So also on PSA a little bit, I'm sure they're not going to tell us whether or not they talked to Dan about this specifically before that date, but PSA would know if they did contact him prior to the 30th, which they had plenty of notice before that. PSA should have been concerned enough that they talked to Dan. Dan should have been talking to them And now if Dan's pretending, then PSA should know 100% for sure that he was pretending, because he would have been advised by them, because they should have been spanking him on the butt for leaking customer information and being affiliated with PSA. But who knows? Maybe they're just as klutzy and lazy as our boy Dan here. I mean, they did choose Dan as a official middleman, and yes, middlemen should not exist, and especially when you're gonna downgrade from, we had big fuck ups to now little baby Dan fuck ups, and little baby Dan fuck ups they're still pretty bad fuck ups, if we're being honest here. All right, important to note that the person who advised Dan's Pokestop of the issue approached them with absolutely no expectation. There was no wrongdoing, etc. They were not trying to exploit them or blackmail them in any way. No expectation, nothing. They didn't want anything in return. There was no indication at any point of anything that I've seen in their communications of that. They just wanted Dan's Pokestop to fix the issue and to be honest about it. You got to report it to the people that if you leak their information, if they potentially had their information leaked, you got to let them know. It's important when you're dealing with high value collectible items that someone can't just straight up access everyone's address. Do I need to explain why? Regardless, I still really want to know. Dan, do you personally think that 10 to 11 days would be acceptable to be notified if your home address, email, phone number, and full name, as somebody that is a little bit less of a public figure, although maybe that's debatable when you only have a couple thousand followers. Again, we don't follow or flex, but we're just in comparison to the big boy middlemen, we got a little wiener dog here. Oh, so surely you would be thanking that person. They thank you so much for coming forward, letting us know that there's an issue so that we can solve it, so we can advise everyone, so we can make everything right. No, they decided that he was going to be kicked from their Facebook group. I guess we got 10K people in the Facebook group. That's pretty impressive. I guess maybe it's just more of a boomer business, I guess. Kicked him from the Facebook group. And this individual never posted in there, so there was nothing that would be ban or removal worthy. They kicked him because he exposed the fact that they weren't doing what they needed to do, what they were obligated to do by law, to follow regulations, and they kicked him. Is that a bad sign? I would definitely say so. Let's get into the absolute shitstorm that was the comment section. Once, actually, it was kind of funny because Dan's Pokestop wasn't in there initially, and I was like, okay, maybe he just kind of learned his lesson, and he's like, oh crap, I'm screwed now. But eventually he got in there, but it was probably because he was too busy writing up that email. If I had to guess, guys, he was probably writing an email, so he couldn't be in the comment section with the comments that we're about to see. They were postponed a little bit, probably for that reason. All right, so we have Jimmy Dan 99, who I'm not sure who this is, but they say, any reason you block paying customers for bringing this data breach to your attention? That's pretty funny, because that did happen. As we saw in the previous screenshot, the person was removed from the Facebook group. Very, very ethical move, Dan. Very ethical. Great job. Instead of working with them and thanking them for their free service, showing you what you needed to do, you blocked them. How did that work out? We got another video here. And Dan's Pokestop replies back with a snarky, "Are you a paying customer?" All right, it's time. We're going to get Dan Pokestop's side of the story. Even though he's going to let on several times that he wants to talk to me, I can assure you he doesn't. I even offered. He didn't want to. I think he instead wanted to send me an email or something stupid. Instead, I guess we'll just have to settle it in the YouTube comments. Don't be surprised to see him down there after this one, or maybe even in the live chat. Dan, you'd be welcome in there. Come hang out with us. And So we'll read through this long boy, and I guess that's as good as the conversation gets. I know I definitely wouldn't want to talk to myself if I was doing something wrong or wronged my customers in the Pokemon realm of things. I definitely 100% understand not wanting to actually talk to me after claiming to want to talk to me. So we'll go through here one point at a time, and I'll address every single thing that you wanted to lay down here. So now everyone's had their 2 pence. I'll give you a response. Rattle in quotation marks. That is very nice of you to Dan's Pokestop. Jesus Christ. Is that a real thing? Do people really say 2 pence instead of 2 cents in the UK? Is it just a direct conversion thing? And you know what? I think it's nice of you to wait for everyone to have their opinion. Though I firmly believe that it was more due to the fact that you were scrambling to write an email so you could pretend. That's just my opinion, though. I think you were pretending that you only just found out. Again, like previously, you could have easily reached out to me to discuss this, as you claim you like to investigate a case to its fullest. Clearly didn't hear. You simply used one-sided information to attract views, clickbait, and damage our business. Oh man, as I mentioned, the first video wasn't bashing you. I don't care. I didn't know who you were. You don't matter, etc. I mean, everyone matters, guys. You guys all matter in the chat. Dan's Pokestop. In relation to other middleman people, I guess you're just a little bit less significant than they are. But yeah, it turns out when people reach out to you with issues, you either pretend that you didn't see it, or you say that you're too busy to answer DMs. And it's not one-sided information. I had information that was coming from both ends. You were in the comment section of both. You were a little late to this one, which is understandable when you're busy writing emails. Sometimes I lose track of time as well. But no, I don't care to damage your business. I just think it's funny that I make a warning saying, hey, PSA shouldn't have middlemen. You lose your shit in the comments. Then not even a week later, you mess up. And not only do you mess up, which is fine, people mess up. And you know what? If you're a boomer, you had somebody that's inexperienced working on the website. All you had to do was make it right. And you didn't. He didn't. You didn't. I think you knew the whole time. But again, regardless, fighting with me on here is not getting those submissions sent out. And pretending to want to talk to me is just another weird thing that I guess you're going to do. Firstly, all of your data is not correct. There was a small number of clients affected. So this statement is factually incorrect and can be construed as attempting to cause damage with malicious cause. Uh-oh, guys. Dan's Pokestop is now not only a PSA middleman company, official middleman, sorry. I didn't mean to leave that out. But he's getting into the legal jargon, which is pretty interesting. I guess you're going to need that coming up if any of these clients so choose to take any of that action that they probably should. I mean, that's up to them. I wasn't affected. It wasn't my data. But I think that it's good that they know that their data was compromised. I don't know what he's talking about. All of your data is not correct. I never claimed, I don't think, at least I didn't intentionally claim that it was all of the data that he had. I was just specifically saying that for a lot of those orders, it was very accessible. And it still is. And instead of fixing the issue here, he's going to talk to me instead of making sure that your full name isn't visible, because we've seen how that can go down. A full name is pretty important, especially when you're dealing with collectibles and you don't want people to necessarily know what you have. Especially not what you have, where you live, your phone number, etc. It's a lot of bad stuff to put out there in the world. Next point. When did you contact the business to establish if the facts presented to you were in their entirety correct? I can't even read this. It's written so poorly. As you claim, you want me to get in touch. Why not get in touch with me? So again here, I saw the full DMs. I saw what was going on. Ant doesn't answer. You don't answer your DMs. Now that you publicly were invited to speak with me on a video chat, you decided against it. I also offered a phone call, as we'll see. You don't have any interest in talking to me. You want me to say like, oh, I was wrong because I didn't contact you or something, or you want to pretend that like I didn't contact you. This is some weird workaround excuse that like you messed up and you wronged people. Your business messed up and wronged people and didn't follow regulations. And now it's just because of the fact that I didn't talk to you about it. You had plenty of time to resolve the issue before I even got wind of it. You've been deleting comments in the thread that defend Dan's Pokestop, all to make sure you don't look silly. Okay, so this one is very funny. I guess it's not really funny, but it's interesting because as you guys probably know and have noticed, if you want to say something mean about me in the comments section, by all means, go to town. There's already some Dan's Pokestop strokers that are down in the comments section of those videos, and I don't care. I absolutely don't care. What I do care about is the fact that the person that you're talking about, hopefully you're not in cahoots with them, because they were posting personal information and the names of family members of the individual that brought the issue to light, that brought the issue to you that you didn't resolve, and then brought the issue to me so I could resolve it for you publicly and shame you for it, which you should be. But funny enough, so that's basically what it takes. That's what it takes to get banned from the Rattle Pokemon YouTube comment section. You have to do something pretty bad in the form of like doxing people that have nothing to do with the incident whatsoever. Family members of people that don't deserve to be involved. If somebody chooses to be involved, sure. If somebody has some sort of platform, if you want to say that I look stupid and I poop my pants every day, go to town. I don't give a shit. My skin is thicker than a Snicker. I don't know. Regardless, this is what we had somebody that's posting personal information. Turns out that same individual was a troll slash I don't know what kind of like dick sucker that loves these middleman companies, but was also a huge proponent on the like, oh, I hate Rattle because he hates on Graded Gem. So if you want to put yourself, Dan, in that same boat as the person that was posting personal information, I guess you two are kind of alike. He was posting family members' information. You were posting your customers' information. So I get that. I get that. You guys have something in common. You guys can you can bond over that, I guess. I'd be happy to provide that you calling me a liar is false. The action taken was not in response to your video. It was simply a part of the process that was all performed within the 72-hour timeline, since I, as the person in charge of data management, was made aware of the potential breach because, as claimed by Mr. W, he only could view the data and did nothing with it. Okay, so wait, do I have something mixed up? You're saying you're the person in charge of data management, but Ant was the one that made all the changes. So were you there? Were you there with him? You don't overlook any of that? It's weird that Boomer Dan from Dan's Pokestop is in charge of data management, but you seem to struggle with Discord or any form of communicating with me other than email, which is a little weird. I kind of find that hard to believe. But also, it doesn't matter if you're in charge of data management. It's the company. When they're informed, they have to report all of it. I don't even know what you're trying to say in most of this, why it's a mix-up. And now you're just trying to like put it on the fact that the person that tried to help you with the information about how your site was leaking personal information. It's their fault, and now you're going to try to swing it around on them and say that they did nothing bad with it? I guess that's the logic here. If anyone down in the comments can tell me what the hell he's trying to say, what point is he trying to make in this little line here, or a couple lines, please let me know, because I'm not sure. He's all over the place. We have a full auditable timeline of the facts since I was first informed at 7:01 a.m. on Thursday morning, along with a catalog and timeline of the actions taken since, including getting people with web system knowledge to attempt to breach our systems as suggested. I guess he's really insisting the fact that he found out on that Thursday morning at 7:01 a.m. He's really trying to push that home. And he's got a catalog of actions taken since then. So he knew about like data breaches and all the regulations, but the person that has control of the site that made all the changes to try to rectify the issue, they aren't in charge of that. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. I don't know if I'm buying it. I don't think I'm buying it. We have already reported this again within the 72-hour time window since I was made aware to the ICO and have offered our full cooperation with them on this regarding the potential leak, along with ways in which we can better handle / manage the possibility of future data breaches. Okay, whatever you say, Dan. If you know what, if you want to take it up with them, and they're the ones that have to look after it. I don't know why you're trying to tell me about it, but good on you. I don't believe you. Maybe they will. Who knows? It's weird that you're blaming somebody else for that isn't trained on data breaches, but apparently it sounds like you are, but you weren't in charge of making changes on the website, on the system. Are you doing all this stuff yourself? You would have been aware, and had they contacted you like they did, but had you had the chance to respond, even though you didn't respond and you didn't go look at or read the message. I'm confused here. I'm confused, Dan. Should you have been the one making changes on the website and not give access to other people that aren't trained? Is that what's going on? As for me being notified on the 20th, and I'm lying due to that, imagine if you found a flaw with a Microsoft website and send Bill Gates a message on Facebook to tell him you found an issue. Does that make him accountable, even though he will never read it? Of course not. You've made it clear in this video the message probably went to my spam, like so many others do from people I don't know. That's the reason it was not and still has not been read. Okay, come on. You're going to compare yourself to Bill Gates. Meanwhile, you're beaten off on whatnot and God knows what else with your free time. Commenting on Rattle Pokemon videos when you're upset, fighting with people on the internet that don't agree with you and don't believe that you were trying to do the right thing here. I don't know what to tell you. This is ridiculous. You can't just pin the thing on like, I didn't know about it because I don't read my spam. You had somebody with full access to the website who had the ability to make changes to the website that was fully notified and that should have been in contact with you every step along the way, especially if for some reason you're all of a sudden the lead developer on this. I don't remember seeing any credentials that was something that you were a specialist in, but if you are, feel free to send us that information. Show us your tech side, Dan. Show us your tech side. The issue from our findings that has caused the delay has been highlighted, and as to those in the email that we sent, it explains there is / was an area in our business where a member of our staff lacked in data handling experience and training. Hence we outlined this, and we'll be sending them to an ICO accredited course to ensure they are fully to speed on this matter. Okay, so all right, we're gonna make believe here. We're going to pretend that Dan is being 100% honest, and even then, even in this case, if he somehow wasn't notified, which I find it very hard to believe, we're not talking about a ginormous corporation here. It's Dan's Pokestop, the 2,000 follower Instagram J-baller here that maybe he has a couple employees, and what the employees that have full access and the ability and the knowledge to change things on the back end of the website with all of your customers' information are not trained. Okay, noted. I mean, it's another point. I don't think that's the exact situation that we have here. necessarily. I think none of you are, and I think you knew about the whole thing. But again, at bare minimum here, we're looking at untrained people that don't know anything about data security that are making changes on the back end. I don't know if it's better if it's with or without your knowledge. Either way, it's bad. It's pretty bad. So, if I can prove to you, which I can by the way, that I was only made aware of this on the date/time stated, I can show you my questioning of the staff involved in a failure to report to me the breach and my efforts since that time and date until the conclusion within the 72 hours, way before you put this video out. Can we accept you to hold your hands up and say, you know what, I was wrong. I didn't do my research fully and then actually did everything in accordance to UK law regarding data protection and a GDPR? Okay, so I'm assuming by proof here, he means he's going to show me like a text or something that says like, oopsie doopsie, I found out at 7:01 a.m. No, you can easily fake that, and I'm not buying it at this point in time. I think the whole thing was an attempt to sweep. It's a continuous sweeping of under the ruggedness, in my opinion. That's my opinion. You guys can form your own. If you guys want to send things to Dan and you think he's a trustworthy person, and you think that the establishment, his little Dan's Pokestop, is something that's trustworthy and something that definitely won't be just a smaller version of Mark's cards and or Ludkin's, by all means. If you want your stuff to be held up forever at PSA, is that going to be the next step? It wouldn't surprise me. Is something else bad going to happen? Maybe. It only took a week after I made a video saying like, what is PSA doing? So who knows? I don't know what kind of like, we got a guy that says he wants to talk to me, doesn't want to talk to me. Then he says he's going to show us proof. The only proof that I've seen is an email. While Dan was not responding to the video like he had previously, in that time frame before the email came out, he was missing in action. I don't, guys, I can't say for sure. Maybe he has an alibi or something, but my guess is that he was writing an email for those few hours. Yeah, that's what I think. Oh man, oh my goodness. And not to mention the fact that like, how much time is this individual? Like, I'm not a professional. Maybe I'm a professional shit disturber. Maybe I'm a professional scam spanker. But at the same time, it's not my job to act professional, whereas you probably want to. You're embarrassing yourself. I can't embarrass myself. I'm already embarrassed. I should be embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed. I'm too crazy to be embarrassed. Or will this just be another comment deleted so we won't make you look bad? Because quite frankly, your videos are damaging to a business with no proof. Well, I think we both know where that's going. For anyone that watches the channel, are you seeing a little bit of a connection here? Every time anyone is doing something wrong and I call them on it, there's a fake threat for a lawsuit. It's never ending. It's a revolving door of fake lawsuits. And this is kind of funny. Again, in this case, it's pretty ironic because we have Dan's Pokestop, who is actually at risk of legal battles with the customers that had their information leaked, and yet he's going to threaten me for giving my opinion on the internet. And again, it blows my mind. Never ceases to amaze me here how dumb these scammy whammies are. They come in all shapes and sizes, but they do the same things over and over again. It wouldn't be a true Rattle Pokemon series if we didn't have Dan's Pokestop pretending that he was going to take legal action against me. Dan, suck it, Dan. Again, even though you don't directly say it here, the fact that you are implying that it's a good idea tells me that you're full of shit and you can suck a mean wiener dog. Do I have to wait? Do we got to bring up again the fact that the person that I deleted the comments with somebody that was doxing family members of the individual that brought the breach to your attention? Do we need to do that? Is that a talking point that you want to stick with, Dan? Reach out to me. Be good to chat. I'd like to hear your thoughts on it, as I'm sure so many others would. Peace emoji. As we've seen with some of the scammeronis on the channel, yes, they're gonna pretend that they just needed to tell their side of the story, but didn't get the chance to. So surely, if I ask Dan's Pokestop to talk to me, whether it's on a phone call, whether it is on a Discord call would be awesome. It would be extremely hard to lie to the camera when you know that I'm looking at you. But other than that, I guess in an email you can make up whatever the hell you want, and you can fluff some stuff up, and maybe you proofread it a little harder than you have been. You gotta make sure that if you're gonna send out an official email letting people know that their data has been compromised, you might want to use spell check. Okay, so let's take a look at Dan. Dan is he's gonna talk to us. He says he wants to talk to us, so whatever. We're gonna give Dan the opportunity to discuss with me. I'll give him some questions. We'll get his full side of the story. No issues. So I say, send me a DM on Discord, and we can schedule a video chat tonight to discuss. So somebody that's extremely computer literate, you would think that they would have Discord or the ability to download a free application in order to converse with me. We got Akpo here who says, can't block ICO on Facebook, pal. Dan's Pokestop says, Rattle, I don't use Discord. I'll happily do above as stated in written content to ensure all information is factual and correct. What? So it has to be written in order for it to be factual and correct? Am I reading this right? Did you just write that really poorly? Or is it the fact that you're maybe a little bit concerned that you can't lie to my face? That would be pretty tough to do. If it's easier for you to reach me with personal info, how to do this, email, etc., then send me a DM on Instagram and I'll happily do the above if you agree to make a public apology video afterwards. Otherwise, it's not worth the time having the discussion with you, as it will be swept under the carpet. But thanks for replying this time. So, no, you're the one doing the carpet sweeping with everything, it seems. I think you're the carpet sweeper here. Not me. I've done everything very much out in the open. And I don't know if you know this, but I don't like to edit very much. And also in terms of if I had a conversation with somebody, if you wanted to do a public video and or stream where we discuss it, then it would be in its entirety. I'm not going to chop anything up. I don't need to make you look bad. You already look bad. You already look really bad. So I say, Dan's Pokestop, you wanted me to reach out, but now don't want to talk. Should I call you instead? You're welcome to explain the whole situation to me on Discord or over the phone, like you claim. Dan says, Rattle, so, as I said, if you want to Insta DM me your email, I'm going to Instagram DM you my email, which is publicly posted if you really wanted to send me an email. I don't want an email. I wanted to talk to you. You've already kind of like spilled a whole bunch of crap here. I don't think you could hold your stuff together. I don't think you could tell the story. I think you would stumble upon your words and you would get caught in lies. That's what I think would happen. That's why I think you're avoiding it even after you requested it. You said you wanted to talk to me, not email me in your previous requests. I had a pretty good feeling you were going to flop on this once you were given the opportunity to, because again, I think you have something to hide. I think you tried to hide everything and then it didn't hide, and now you're trying to hide the fact that you were hiding things. You're sweeping rugs. There's so much swept under the first rug that you had to put another rug over top of it, and now it's coming out of that one. It's just a never-ending rug over rug action, rug on rug action. Please don't Google that. I will give you a full written breakdown with all my evidence from our investigation to prove, as I've said before, my first point of notification was Thursday at 7:01 a.m. I have told you here what the facts are. The reason for an email is to be able to provide this evidence. You can send that along too. You can also send them as attachments on Discord. But I'm sure you know that because since you're an expert in data breaches and the back end of your website, and it's not somebody else that's in charge of that, that had access to it, that, yeah, you should know. You should know how to use Discord. It's okay. I'll wait. Learn. You can learn. Make an account. I'll walk you through it. On the basis you agree to publicly apologize. I'm not going to apologize for anything. Eat a fat hot dog. I guess that's only fair considering you decided to make a video without all the facts. That will not only damage a business reputation when I have handled it correctly as per the UK data protection reporting procedures. Did you take into consideration that it's still leaked? It's still leaking. It's leaking people's full names. Did you fix that yet? I have a feeling you don't. You don't have it fixed. You don't have it fixed by the 6th. And you're not going to have it fixed when this video... I would be very surprised if you have it fixed before this video comes out. I wouldn't be very surprised if you take a while and fix it, you know, shortly after this video is released. But that seems to be the way that things are working out. Only a coincidence. Hashtag coincidence. This has caused no end of concerned emails from clients when we have contacted all those involved. Yeah, they should all be very concerned, and they would have been concerned because they didn't receive the email, and their email probably wasn't written until I made a video. You had the opportunity to do the right thing. Your business had the opportunity to do the right thing. You didn't do the right thing. You messed up. Then you tried to hide it. Whether it was you, whether it was Ant, whether it was both of you circle jerking each other off while you did it, you messed up, and then you tried to hide it. The business tried to hide it. It got out. You messed up. You at least deserve to set a wrong for once and hold your hands up and say, you know what? I didn't get all the facts. I ran with a story that works for clickbait and views, and I've damaged this guy's business and reputation for my own gain. And for that, I'm sorry. You always expect that of others, so practice what you preach. Or is it all a front? I don't know what you're trying to say here. What do you need here? You want all the evidence? You want the ability to talk? You're welcome. Just like all the other scammers, you're welcome to come on the platform here. I'll give you a little step up, a little step stool. Come on up onto the not so big channel, and we'll chat it out. We can do it live. We can do a recorded video call. You can wear your favorite leotard, whatever you feel like doing. Put it on. Come on, download Discord. We'll have a chat. We can do it. We can even do it with a live audience if you'd like. We've done that before. Ask Liquid Marketplace how it played out. Ask them. All right, one more little thing to touch on here before we provide some instructions to those that were affected by this. We have the original, the person that brought the leak to their attention, and bravo on them. Bravo on them for also exposing the company that didn't do anything about it. But they say, they explain in the chat that it wasn't hacking by any means, just looking at the data that was sent to my browser after searching an order number. They say they have no hidden agenda and just trying to keep them honest. I think it says read more. We'd have to click on that, go back, but we're not going to. I'm too lazy. Fact check that. Put in the comments what was said there. It's still on the other video. That's not a comment that I'm going to delete. So Dan's Pokestop says, at Brandon, just for the record here, as I'm going to ask it, so you didn't save information you found and give it out to a third party here without the prior consent of others. So here we have Dan in a moment of desperation, who is going to, again, he's going to finger point. It wasn't his fault. He didn't know about it. And also, I guess the fact that now he's trying to blame it. He's trying to blame it on the person that brought it to their attention. That why, if somebody wanted to do something malicious with that information, why would they bring it to the company? If they wanted to exploit the fact that they had customer information, that they saw customer information, that it was accessible, why would you advise the company that you did it? It's a weird thing. again, he reached out to them long before he reached out to me, but here Dan is grasping at straws, and I think he's found himself in a little bit of trouble here, and rightfully so. If any of them, whether him, Ant, or the combination of the two, were hiding this from everyone involved, all the people that were affected by this, then good on them. Hopefully the ICO puts it in their butt and does it swiftly. That being said, before we end off today, I do want to we got a weird little website here. We got the ICO, the Information Commissioner's Office, and there's a nice little tab called Make a Complaint. I'm going to accidentally leave that down below in the description for any of those affected. Also, maybe I'll post it in the Discord somewhere. If you'd like to find out if it's still available at the time, if you'd like to find out if you were one of the people that were affected by this, join the Discord and send me your order number. Maybe we'll figure that out. But if it was me, I would be filling out this form because yeah, it's not right what they did, and the fact that it was hidden, no matter by who at the company, they broke the rules. They broke the rules here. They broke the regulations, and they again will be extremely, Dan, you will be extremely lucky if people don't actually take legal action against you. That's it. That's all. None of that fake threat stuff that you kind of spouted at me. All right, take care of each other out there. Love you guys. See you next time. Bye.
The fact that you are in the Rattle Pokemon Discord shows you have a good head on your shoulders.